What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Wizards Outlook. And as you can see, the Wizards, without Will Riley and AJ DeBonsa, fall to the Bulls 99-87. Big game from Chris Livingston, who did his best to try to rally the Wizards with 21 points and 4 rebounds. Seth Trimble added 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Felix Akpar, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And Kadari Richmond with 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists in a losing effort. All right, what are your thoughts on the Wizards without, obviously, their number 1 draft pick and, second-year wing that's going to play a big role for them tonight and how they competed with the Bulls?
Yeah, you knew walking in was going to be an uphill battle without their two big guns. But they put their work in, and the team shut them down. They saw what they needed to see. But the guys that were there still competed. That's pretty much what all you can really ask for. Yeah, they Livingston, he you could tell he was trying to fill in the gap and did a pretty good job, man. He was aggressive. He took calculated measured shots. Reese Beekman, he still brought that same defensive energy he had the other night, which was good to see. And some other guys that you mentioned earlier, they tried to pitch in as well, just in the second half. The Bulls just kind of took control of the game, and the Wizards faded down the stretch. But the Bulls still, they had their lottery pick, Caleb Wilson, playing, decent game, 19-8. But yeah, it was just some guys that hadn't been out there yet for the Wizards, just kind of getting their first taste. And the Bulls they made the adjustment at halftime and, just kind of ran with it. The Bulls, they showed good effort defensively as well. That's guys were playing like, things were on the line. Folks not giving up on plays, chasing down, getting fast break blocks and stuff like that. It's refreshing to see on both sides. So, it was the Wizards' first loss, but next time out, I'm sure they'll have more cohesiveness playing without AJ and Will, because a lot of the offense was going through them the first 2 games. So yeah, man, just looking forward to how they adjust and come back.
Yeah, man, I agree with everything you said. In addition, the Wizards just were too cold at different stretches from the field. They shot 42% from the field. The Bulls shot 49. The Wizards shot 27% from deep, 6 of 22. The Bulls shot 35%, 12 of 34. And then the Wizards were 12 of 18 from the free throw line, but the Bulls were 11 of 15. So the Bulls were efficient across the board, scoring the ball, even though the Wizards won a rebound battle and were right there, close enough in steals, 20-16 in favor of the Bulls. They also had 24 turnovers to the Bulls 20. So, which compounded the fact that, they were off from the field. So, and they only lost by 12. So simply taking care of the ball and just making a few more shots, being a little bit more efficient. This game could easily be the other way. So it shows that even without Will and AJ, Trey, obviously, they shut him down after the first game as well. The other guys who are trying to either stick with the Wizards, whether it be, with the go-go or whatnot, or, kind of, earn your reps at the end of the bench, or you're auditioning for another team, or, frankly, you're getting ready for overseas. They all play hard and play to win, and that's the name of the game, man. You want, that's what this some league is about. You try to put your best foot forward and prove you're worthy. And quite a few of them there, like what Chris Livingston brought. 21 points, 8 of 14 from the field, 2 of 5 from deep, 2 of 3. He wasn't the problem with the efficiency. You take his efficiency away, it's drastically worse. 4 rebounds. But, defensively across the board, they were just, they weren't on point. Kadari Richmond was a little better defensively. He was a +6 Only thing messed him up, he was 4-12 from the field, just a couple shots off from 50%, but he made up for that with rebounding and assists, and he had 4 turnovers as well. You know, you can't ever have more turnovers than assists, which he knows. But again, it goes back to that cohesiveness. You haven't been playing. You trying to figure things out on the fly, and that's part of the evaluation process with summer league, man. You want to see how well these guys can adapt, how quickly they can adapt mentally and get it and make the play. You know what I'm saying? And that goes a long way to showing, okay, he could be an NBA player, because unless you one of the top picks or whatnot, or one of the top second-year players and whatnot, the offense ain't going through you. So, and you're not going to get a lot of minutes. So if you do make that team, when you get in the game and get your opportunity, you're going to have to adapt quickly. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that's what some league is about. Kind of getting you used to the atmosphere, the plays, the level of athleticism, even though they're not as polished of a player as what you will see later on in the winter. But you know, they want to see how quickly you adapt, especially mentally, man. You know, some guys adapt quick, some guys don't. And that's the evaluation process. You know, Felix Kapara doing the dirty work, 12 points, 4 rebounds. You know, like to see him get a couple more blocks in that mix. I think if he can get that going, then that'll go a long way to improving his stock with the team and improving the team overall. You know what I mean? So Seth Trimble, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Just need to be more efficient, man. But I like his athleticism. I like his combo guard talent. Obviously, you know, he played in North Carolina. He was at Portsmouth as well. So seen a lot of them. You know what I mean? So, you know, just being more efficient, man. But that comes with getting used to your teammates as well, understand where your spot's going to come, and, you know, them getting used to you as well. You know, a lot of that's in sync. You know what I mean? So, like with AJ and Will, Seth might pop open for open 3. He know he going to get it because they're going to find him. He might be a little bit more prepared than if Chris might pass it to him. You know what I mean? Because you don't know if he's going to pass it. And there's little things like that you just got to get adjusted to and get used to. And, you know, that's what, you know, some of these all about. Julian Reese, we know what he can do, man. Anybody worry about him, man. He proved it with the big boys, man. He just getting reps right now. Trey Carroll, 6 points, 5 rebounds. You know, he's at Portsmouth as well, 3 or 4 knockdown shooter. He's a knockdown shooter. But what I like tonight in the limited minutes he only played 11 minutes. You know, most of it was in the fourth. He understood how to play. Like that play late in the game where he got back on defense and prevented Caleb, and I forgot the other guy who tried to dunk it, and he just had active hands and he saved that basket. Those are little things that, you know, look, I'm not saying he's going to be on the main team or whatnot. We know what the deal is, but those are little things that I like to see when it involves Wizards, because we didn't see a lot of that last year. You know, if it was a 2-on-1 break, it was going to end in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? So, I like, you know, you like to see guys that's going to compete and give it your all like that, man. And like I said, it goes a long way. RJ Nembhard Jr., 9 points, 3 assists, 4-7 from the field, 2 rebounds. Felt like he was a bright spot off the bench as well, man. So, look, you know, they just strap up a little bit more and hit a few shots. It could have easily went their way, but on the Bulls side, Sellers was on one. You know, he was scorching earth tonight. They was determined to get a win. You know, Caleb Wilson, 19 points, 8 rebounds. He's Caleb Wilson, man. You know what I'm saying? On this stage, he Caleb. We know what it is. I think I saw a tweet earlier where like him, Boozer, AJ, and Darren, in most drafts, they're easily number 1. So that goes to show you how talented this draft is, and that's how talented he is. So on this stage, I expect him to do what he do, man. You know what I mean? And he's been doing it consistently. And Donovan Atwell off the bench, man, 6-12 from the field, but 6-12 from deep. Yeah, if you hitting threes like that, plenty of teams that could use it. Plus 15 in 26 minutes. That's he was on the heater. 19 points, man, off the bench. Like that pretty much the difference of the game. He was the difference, you know what I'm saying? Like real talk. So I'm sure that made an impression, not on the Bulls, on somebody. It damn sure made an impression on me. So, you know, just a good competitive game, man. You know, and that's all you want to see from these young Wizards, man. You know, force the GM and, you know, the GM for the Go-Go, the GM, obviously Will Dawkins, all those guys up there with the Wizards, force them to have to sit and really think about who they're going to keep. And that's a good problem to have instead of making it easy on like, yeah, get rid of him, let's get out of here. You know what I mean? That shows that they're evaluating well and that the Wizards franchise is heading in the right direction, man, and towards a winning direction where it's consistency all across the board. That you have guys that some will be in Europe, some will be in the G League trying to earn their keep. Some may be up and down. We don't know yet. That, you know, they're going to make it tough on guys, and that's what you want to see, man. So that's what I'm happy about. But with that being said, man, we're going to get to it. Your player of the game.
I went Jalen Sellers. He got right to it, man. You know, like you said with Caleb, you kind of know what it is with him. You know, top 4 pick in some league. He should be doing this. Not to take anything away from how well he's performing, but you know that's what you want to see out of a guy you drafted at that position. But yeah, Sellers got to it, man. Nobody in front of him could do anything with him tonight.
Yeah, he's a problem. He's a dog, man. He's out of Providence, 2-way contract kid, so he gonna be back and forth. But 6'5", super athletic, he can fill it up. He was at the combine as well. He's a problem. He's somebody he got potential. If he could put it all together, right now it's just hot and cold sometimes with his decision making and shot selection. But if he can master that and become more efficient in those areas, he's definitely an NBA player for sure. So he's gonna be in that rotation. He's in the right franchise where they're trying to build up, where he can get opportunities. It's just up to him to seize the opportunity, man. But yeah, he's a problem. I'm with you. He's definitely played the game. X Factor, I think I know where you're gonna go, but yeah, X Factor.
Donovan Atwell, man, came off the bench flamethrowing.
Without a doubt, man. God damn. Like I said, he was determined. Like we're gonna win this game. Like I'm tired of losing, man. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, it just goes to show you, man. There's so much talent out here, man. It's amazing. That's why scouting is important, and that's why you gotta look at everything. Because I think this kid started up at UNC Greensboro, something like that, one of the UNC schools, and then he finished up at Texas Tech. So, and man, it shows you what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? So if he, like I said, if he can continue to shoot the ball like that, yeah. If the Bulls can't use him, somebody will, because you can always use premium shooting to spread the floor. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I know a team in the Wizards division that just acquired a big free agent that can use some extra shooting off the top of my head, man. So yeah, man. You know, it's exciting to see. But you know, look, with that said, man, we're gonna get out of here. Couple more games with the Wizards coming up this week, and then obviously the Mystics as well. So we will be back with coverage for both soon. Thank you for joining us.